Alright, welcome to Flamecast. I'm Todd Blitz.
And this is Travis Buckmeyer.
Yes, and we're recording. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, we're a bit late this time, after about, 2 months?
I don't think it's been that long. I think you think it's been that long, but I don't think it's been that long.
I think we missed out on June because we kind of took the time to do filming at that point, so...
That could be.
And so we waited another month, and so it's... Okay, we're a month late. But it's been 2 months since the last one. But yes, we were doing some filming for the audition. So...
Yes, we were. What a fine adventure that was.
Yeah, we ran all around Rochester doing some filming, just the two of us, so...
And as I want to point out, that I'm always a big fan of checking on with the locals before doing certain filmings while wearing certain outfits.
Well...
Just pointing that out now.
It's kind of funny, though. Speaking of, outfits and such, but, what was I sending? Oh, I was sending off our winner from, the last episode, Mike Sheff. I was sending out his hat, and I had it in a box. And when I send stuff out like this, I have it sent from the Flaming Dust stockroom. And I give it to the person at the mail counter, and she's like, "Is there anything flammable in here?" It's like, "Oh, no. Nothing flammable or anything. It's just the name of our, little store." And such. Okay. She didn't... I think she didn't believe me at first. But
You've made a list, Todd. I don't think you realize that yet, but you've made a list.
Yeah. I have lots of lists. Like the list for today.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, I think last time we talked about the Flamecast Theater, and again, it's just been too busy to do something like that right now, especially since we've got Chris and Tina Marlar moving at this point, so they are still in the midst of packing and such, and I helped them move the last couple of days, move some of the stuff, but it's just too busy of a time right now.
Yeah, it's a little hectic all around.
Yeah. But on the other hand, I did get to something else, which I'm sure a lot of you, well, maybe not a lot of you, some of you have seen, anyways. Action Trection has returned.
Yay!
Yeah, so I've been watching the stats on that. I should maybe put out another reminder today that the new one is up every Saturday morning at 2 a.m. Well, over in your area, that'd be 1 a.m. Or no, that'd be 3.
3 a.m., sir.
3. I'm going the wrong direction. That'd be mountain time, but as of posting the new one, and if I do a refresh here, we haven't had any today, but we had 13 page views yesterday, so.
Nice. We need to get that up a little higher, don't we?
Yeah, we're almost getting more views on Action Traction than we are at Flamecast, so.
Oh no. Alright, we'll have to fix that.
Yeah. Well, if we could fix both of them, that'd be nice. But, the last couple of weeks, I finally went and just dove into it, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get all the pictures done. And I got, I think, a good majority of them now. There may be just a couple that I didn't take yet, just because the props that I need to go along with the action figures, they're way back in my closet somewhere. One of them being some Christmas items, so I've got some time before Christmas, but now it's just a matter of getting all these things posted. And the nice thing with the way the page is built, because it's actually a blog, I can go and schedule all of these for future postings. So, if I die tomorrow, Action Direction will go on for 3 years. It'll still post every Saturday, so until I run out of posts. So.
Well, that's a good thing. At least you have it covered.
Yeah. I've got everything up through like the beginning of October, and then I needed to take some more pictures to fill in the gap in October, and then I think most of the rest were kind of maybe starting out in the winter again, and so I've got everything written up, I've got the pictures taken, now it's just a matter of getting all the posts done. So anyways, I'm not sure if we mentioned it last time. Maybe we mentioned it off the record, but I do have another idea for a fan film. But we better take one at a time.
Well, we should probably finish up the one. But, if you got stuff to start with the second one, let's get it started.
Yeah, I suppose I can start writing anyways. But, something in the can anyways. Something up in my head.
It's always good to get those ideas out there.
Yep.
We all, we all love them, enjoy them, and need to get more participation from our friends. I'm looking at you, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I had thought about having Chris join us on this podcast, but again, in the midst of moving and such, probably should wait until next month. But one thing we did miss that was pretty big news over the past couple of months. Of course, we had a lot of stuff go on from Comic-Con. If we're looking at, I don't know if you'd actually call this movie news, because there's TV news in there too, but some of the biggest hitters there. Of course, we got the Batman vs. Superman trailer, the new one.
Yep. Came out recently. Very interesting.
Yep. We finally got one for Suicide Squad.
That one also very interesting.
Yeah. And that one I kind of found a little funny on the way it had to be released, just because so many people were pirating the footage from Comic-Con, so a day or two later, Warner Brothers is like, since it's already gone out, we want you to have a better version of it, so here you go.
Yeah, that it happened with a few things, and I think that's an ongoing problem, because there's just no way of stopping that in those things, even though if you call out and tell people not to do it, technology is advanced enough for folks who are getting their camera phones out there and to get pretty good images of these things.
Right. Which they did for Deadpool, the Deadpool trailer, too. Although the Deadpool trailer hasn't been released yet. I think that's coming out next week, the Red Band trailer.
Correct. There's a Red Band trailer, then there's a regular PG trailer.
Which will come out with Fantastic Four, what I'm hearing.
That is what I read as well.
Yeah, so that'll be coming up Friday here.
Yes.
So, but we also had some... Kevin Smith was there. And if you haven't heard Kevin Smith's story about his Comic-Con experience, you might want to check that out, because it's kind of funny. Because, he was right after the Star Wars panel. And if you know what happened with the Star Wars panel, J.J. Abrams basically took the whole crowd of people that it was at his panel and brought them across the street to a Star Wars concert.
Yes, it was an interesting surprise. But, I think that was the biggest thing, is that everybody was so excited, they all left, and, for folks who were expecting to have a bunch of fans for the next session, had no one.
Yeah. Well, he had, about 2,000-3,000, which is still, pretty decent, but it by no means filled up the auditorium.
No, did not.
So... I kind of feel bad for him that way, but on the other hand, Yay for Star Wars.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is that realizing just how many people literally spontaneously got up and just went with them off to a concert venue.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to go with him. He's like, I want a lightsaber too, because they gave everyone lightsabers. I'm not sure if they were like full size ones. I think there might have been like mini ones, but
yeah, they were. I know they were the plastic toy ones. I don't know how big they really were, but yeah, nonetheless, a free thing like that at a Star Wars event, take it.
Yeah, I would have been torn if I was there. It's like concert or Kevin. But yeah, he got to show off his trailer for Yoga Hosers. But I did look online to see if there was anyone that actually went and tried to record his trailer as well. And maybe it was to his advantage that lots of people left because no one did go and record it when he asked them not to record it, of course. And everyone that was there actually abided by his rule. So,
wow.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have, I'm not sure if this was news from the Comic-Con or not, but the Han Solo standalone film.
Correct. That was another announcement that came out. I don't think they've started any part of the pre-production yet, but yes, that'll be another one of what they're calling the anthology movies.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, if they go by any of what's been established in the Legacy universe now. Used to be just expanded universe, but all that's down the drain. But see what they take from that. If they get into how Han and Chewie met and all that stuff, and
I gotta imagine if they're doing the younger version, that is probably what they are looking at doing. Yeah,
and I would think along in there, probably have maybe a run-in with Boba Fett.
That's one of the speculations, but I wouldn't count on that at this point.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see a young Lando. Maybe.
I would imagine, depending on how far back they go, if they go back to how the Millennium Falcon changed hands, that's entirely plausible.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at the points that you'd want to see. And, I mean, I kind of just listed them there. Along with you. I mean, where he gets the Millennium Falcon from Lando.
Yep.
But it doesn't sound like that happened too far ahead of, what we see in A New Hope. So, yeah, that'd be kind of like later in his career, but prior to A New Hope. And I don't know if they'd go that far.
Yeah, well, like I said, the biggest thing is, how far back they want to go with it, to use what kind of actor they can get to portray him. Then, if it's actually going to tie into any of the other story plots that they're working on.
Yeah. And we ended up getting a Doctor Who Season 9 preview.
Yes, we did.
Which was nice. And everyone's speculating on who Maisie Williams is going to be playing. And there's been a bunch of guesses out there, and I think the last thing I read was they were saying that she was a whole new character, and although they did say something about, well, that's if we're lying. So it's like, it's just going to keep guesses up in the air. My thought was maybe it would be Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter. Back from way back when.
Yeah, that was one of the rumors that was floating around as well, but I think they've done such a good job at keeping it secret, and obviously you have Maisie who keeps her Game of Thrones items secret. I doubt we're going to find out until that stuff airs.
Yeah. Just looking back through that trailer too, it almost looks like we see a picture of Scarrow in there, so I wonder if one of the places that they visit in the next season is Scarrow.
Could
And it looks
very well
like
be.
we do get some Daleks in there, so who knows? Maybe.
Could happen.
But yeah, you see some other little clips in there of the Doctor wearing shades and playing a guitar, which is kind of funny because the actor that plays him was in a band back, prior to being a well-known actor and such.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they recently
sure
pulled up
was
some
fun for him.
footage someone found of that.
Yeah, I was going to look at that and forgot about that. Check that out at some point. But speaking of footage online, I guess we can hit the fan film of the month.
All right, what do we got?
Okay, this is one that someone posted online a link to this a while back, but this is Star Wars: The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly mashup fan film parody. And okay, the good, we're looking at Han Solo. The bad, we're looking at Boba Fett. And the ugly is poor Greedo.
Poor Greedo.
Yeah. And it kind of... Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you have seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm guessing you've seen it, Travis?
It's been a while, but yes.
Okay, well, the final scene where they... they go and... they go to the cemetery, and they're trying to find out, where the gold is located, and whose grave. And yeah, it's almost shot for shot, except you're using Greedo and Boba Fett and Han Solo. It's kind of funny. I'd recommend that one. I'll post the link to that one, of course.
Yeah, I'd say obviously we need to get that link for folks, but that sounds enjoyable.
Yeah. And the way they filmed it too, of course, you put in the effects where it looks like it's an older film and such, like it came from the 60s. And I mean, it's got a title sequence too, and that's based right off of the title sequence to the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly as well. So, enjoyable film. I recommend it. I guess from there we can go to the hot word of the month.
Oh, dun dun dun.
Okay, so last time we had the hot word of the month being Godzilla. And we did have a winner.
Oh, great. Who was our winner?
I'll give you one guess.
I'm going with Mike.
Yeah. Congratulations again, Mike, because you're the winner again this time.
Mike, you're the champ.
Yes, you are. We actually did get a couple of entries, though. Not just Mike.
Oh.
But we also got his brother as well.
Billy, I'm proud of you, Billy. I'm telling you.
Yep, he just wasn't quick enough, though. So
that's unfortunate.
So we're going to have to look into this for next time, or maybe the time after. But we were saying the prize for this time would be guest starring in the next podcast. So we'll have to see if he's, hooked up with, working microphone and all that, and get him TeamSpeak and get him all set up, and we'll see if we can't get that going.
Marvelous.
All right, so I guess we should give out the new hot word of the month.
All right. If we had a drum roll, we'd say drum roll, please, but all we get is this.
Oh, I think we can get a drum roll. The wonders of wave clips online.
Marvelous.
All right. We're just going pretty simple here. The new hot word of the month will be parody.
Parody.
Yes.
All right.
So there's your assignment, people. You know the drill. Go and send us the hot word as soon as you can. Email us at fdp@flamingdeath.net. And first one will win the prize. And what prize should we have this time?
I figured you'd already have the prize figured out there, Todd.
You know, after all this time, I probably should have. It'll be a surprise.
There we go.
Surprise prize. Yeah.
That's what we like.
There you go. Okay, getting some ideas for prizes. Hey, you could get other people prizes as well. How about just going over to flamingdeath.net and looking at the... I'm having clicking problems here. No, stop. Might have to edit that.
I would hope so.
Going over to flamingdeath.net. Death.net. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not even drinking. Oh my gosh.
Talk to us, Goose.
Where you can find the Flaming Death stock rum. And you know what you can find there, Travis?
What can I find there, Todd?
Oh, geez, you can find clothing there. You can
Clothing?
You can find a Flaming Death t-shirt with our logo on it. You can find the Connect More t-shirt, which I've got one of those printed out and made it for myself, of course. Uh-huh. And I've worn that a couple of times out to, well, I brought it with me to Comic-Con in Minneapolis, and I also brought it with me to the Pine Island Cheese Fest days. So,
ooh.
Got some strange looks on that, but hey.
Hey, that's their problem, not yours.
That's right. And also, just like Mike, you can get the Flaming Death cap. So, and Travis. Travis got one last time, too.
Excellent. So you can be like us.
Yes, be like us. Be like us. Not only that, but you can get DVDs there. So you can
What kind of DVDs can you get, Todd?
Well, you can get Yoda's Treasure, Luke and Leia, or Connect More, each for only $5.
Only $5.
$5 a piece, yes.
Marvelous.
And if there's something there that you think you would like to see that's not on there yet, hey, drop us an email at fdp@flamingdeath.net and give us your suggestions. So, head on over and spend some well-earned money.
Todd appreciates your business.
Yeah.
Plus, getting a brand out there, we always appreciate that.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go back to some movie talk here.
All right, movie doc.
As you recall, way back in, what was it, January, February? Somewhere around there when we were talking about some of those Oscar-nominated films, including the nominees for, the movie of the year. We went through them, and unfortunately, neither of us really saw too many of those movies.
Nope.
So over the last week, in addition to taking pictures for Action Traction, I've been trying to catch up on these things.
And which ones have you enjoyed so far?
Well, first I gotta say, this was possible through my thanks to Hamburger Helper. If you end up buying Hamburger Helper, some of the boxes have free rentals from Redbox, so that's the way to go, man. Because I'm not going to download these illegally. I am going to, give credit where credit is due there. So, but the first on my list, the one I wanted to see the most, was Birdman. And I don't know if you've gotten to it yet, Travis.
It's funny you should mention that. Last weekend, I decided to go out and visit my local Redbox and watch Birdman.
All right. Geez, we had the same idea.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah. Although we should say the whole title, Birdman or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
Yeah, there's that.
For those of you who haven't seen it, of course it stars Michael Keaton. Pretty much playing a fictionalized version of himself, really. I mean, you've got an old superhero movie star, an actor who's kind of forgotten for much of his career since he starred in a big movie like that. In the movie, it's actually he played this superhero called Birdman. And, of course, we all know him from 1989's Batman. So
Correct.
So there's good parallels, and that's, you almost wonder if the role was written just for him.
I honestly think there was. I think there's some collaboration on that part of it there to play off that.
Yeah. A lot of that dealt with, kind of the trials and tribulations of just being in that position, being an actor, an older actor that, you're kind of typecast for one particular role that you had, and now you're trying to make do later on in your career. And, he's got a competing actor who's trying to overstage him, which I really like that character.
Yes, that was enjoyable.
Played by, what's his name?
Ed. Is it Ed Norton?
Yeah. Yes. Who also you may know from The Incredible Hulk.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a shame that he couldn't continue that role, but although, what's his name? Who took over? Was that Mark? Mark,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my understanding was that there's some difficulty.
Mark
There's always
Ruffalo.
some,
Yeah.
yes, there's always some difficulty working with Norton, and that it actually might not have been a bad deal to make the change that they did. As much as I like his stuff, if you're that difficult to work with, that they, make adjustments like that, and that says a little bit as well.
Yeah. So maybe he was playing a bit of himself in this movie too.
Could very well be.
Yeah. Okay, you've also got, the poor family life, not together with his family, really. His daughter has issues. And the part that, kind of got to me was, dealing with the critics who don't take him seriously. I mean, that lady that played the critic in the film, I just wanted to punch her.
Alrighty then, Todd.
You don't get to come in here and pretend you can write, direct, and act in your own propaganda piece without coming through me first. So break a leg.
But it's like, I'm gonna tear apart your movie, and you know why? Because you don't deserve it. It's like, I mean, I know people like that, and it's like, shut the fuck up, man. Oh.
Tell us how you really feel, Todd.
Yeah. And I did like the, him adjusting to the new forms of publicity, too. Like, his daughter's there with, hey, you got so many hits on Twitter and all this stuff. And of course, with him walking around the theater in his underwear and stuff. And someone had posted that online, and he has no clue just because he hasn't been up to date on any of the new forms of publicity. It was kind of funny. And then there comes his superpowers, which, I mean, through the movie, I mean, he shows that he's got flight capability, levitation, telekinesis. And I'm wondering through the movie, it's like, is he imagining this? Or is it real as far as the movie is concerned?
Right.
And you're kind of wondering all the way up until the very end. And it's like, oh, I guess maybe he does. I'm not going to spoil it for everyone, but yeah, there's a final seconds of the movie. You get to see there's a confirmation. We'll just say.
Yes, keep it low key.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I guess I didn't get quite as much out of it, but I mean, it's not like it was bad. It was enjoyable to watch, but it was one of those I just didn't fall in love with it. But then again, it's a thing of choice and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. It just for me, it didn't click as well as it did with you.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of similar reactions out there as far as other people. The ones that do, they're like, "Oh, this movie's so great," and others, it's like, "Nah."
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was enjoyable to watch it, and I've seen it, but I don't have the urge to watch it again.
Yeah. Well, I took that one back. 1-day rentals and such.
Mm-hmm.
And since I have like 4 or 5 free rentals from Redbox, well, I rented again.
What did you get this time?
This time I picked up the second most wanted as far as on my list of what I wanted to see, which was The Theory of Everything.
That is one I have not seen.
Oh, you got to get this one. This one, I almost want to say that this one maybe should have beat out Birdman. But if you're going to rent it and see it, God, have a box of Kleenex, man. So it's like, oh.
Did it make you sad, Todd?
It did. For people that don't know, this is a story of Stephen Hawking, and they kind of start, when he's doing his initial studies at Cambridge and go through the whole time of, when his disease comes into play, and you just see him deteriorate through the whole movie. And my phone is going off, and I can't get it out of my pocket.
We may have to. Hey, nice ringtone.
Yeah. Okay.
We
hold on
should
a
maybe
sec.
edit that out later.
Oop, missed call.
I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, it was Tina. I'll call her back later.
See, she wanted to participate.
She probably wants to know if we can get a trailer for moving. Anyway. Okay. Back to our podcast. So yeah, you see him deteriorate through the whole movie, and some parts is just, just really depressing. You see the effect on his family. Now I have a voicemail.
That's marvelous.
Yeah. But especially his wife, Jane. You see how she she was there for him right off the bat saying, I'm going to take care of him and such. Although at the time they said, he'll only last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he lasted much longer than that because he's still with us. And
yep.
That was like the mid-1960s. So, yeah, I'm sure she was thinking, at the time, yeah, I can do this for, the meantime, but she probably didn't have any idea that it would go on for that long.
Leave me now.
Are you going to talk about this or not?
Please, will you just go?
Is that what you want?
Yes, it is what I want, so please, if you care about me at all, then please just go.
I can't.
I have 2 years to live. I need to work.
I love you.
You've led to that's a false conclusion.
I want us to be together for as long as we've got, and if that's not very long, well, then that's just how it is. It'll have to do.
You don't know what's coming. It'll affect everything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's defied a lot of odds with that, and
Right.
That in itself is of its own little, miracle.
And they showed, how he got the, the piece of equipment that he has to talk to people at this point now. The little robotic voice thing.
Mm-hmm.
When he first got it, he had like a hand clicker to, type out words and such. But he can't even do that anymore. Now it's just, I think the latest thing is they're going by like muscle twitches in his cheek. It's like, oh gosh.
Yeah, it's amazing, the technology. It's sad it has to be used in such fashion, but that technology is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, good movie though. I would recommend this one too. It's just, it's depressing. But at the end he's still alive. So
True.
So I went and took that one back. And picked up the next one on my list.
Oh my, what did you get next?
Yes, I have a voicemail.
You should try to answer your voicemail.
Yeah, I'll do it later.
All right.
Next one I got was Foxcatcher. Which I don't know if you've seen. Probably not.
I have not actually seen it. I saw the preview. I'm familiar with the story.
Okay. Of course, that's the story of... you've got John DuPont from the famous DuPont family. And he decides that he wants to be in charge of the Olympic wrestling team. And, he ends up getting two brothers who were in wrestling, Mark Schultz and Dave Schultz. And initially it's Mark, and Dave ended up coming later. And, it focuses on the relationship between Mark and John. And then at some point, it's like John's got mental issues. And in the movie, it seems so sudden where all of a sudden he kind of just, just turned on Mark. And Mark was really bitter about it. And never really forgave him, it seems like. Mm-hmm. And, his brother Dave comes and tries to help out with the team and stuff. And, well, they go to the Olympics and all that. And afterwards, it's not really a spoiler since, this was in the news. This is based on a true story. But, Dave is out there working... Because Dave was living on DuPont property, not too far away from John DuPont's house. And, John goes and drives up in his Lincoln or whatever he's driving, and Dave's out there working in the snow, and John's just like, "Do you have a problem with me?" And he's like, whoa, wait a second here. And all of a sudden, John pulls out a gun and just guns him down. It's like, holy shit. I mean, if I didn't know what was going to happen, because I already knew the story, but if I didn't know what was going to happen, I'd be like, holy shit, where'd this come from?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John. What's happening?
Hey, whoa.
No, John.
Do you have a problem with me?
John, don't, John. John, I don't have a problem. Hey, John.
John! No! Stop, John!
The whole story of how it kind of happens, I don't know, it just doesn't prepare you for the ending, really. You know that John's a little unstable, but it's like, wow, that's the way it ended? Okay. But, I mean, as far as having a story to it itself, it seems a little, to me, it's a little lacking. Of course, you can't, I mean, there's some over dramatization of, the real thing that happened. But
Right.
I mean, still for me, it's like I think the other two movies had more of a story to them than this did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a good movie and such, but I'm like, okay, yeah, this is number 3. So, and then I went and turned that one in.
And
then next day was laundry day, so I'm like, no, I can't do another one right now this week. So maybe I'll continue this coming week here and get
keep the roll
something
going.
else. Yep. Well, one of the movies that was on the list was Grand Budapest Hotel, which is not in Redbox anymore, at least the ones by me anyways. So I'm like, we'll see what we can do with that one. That one looks interesting. I've seen the previews for it and such, the trailers, and it's more of a comedy. It looks like it could be. I haven't really looked into it much, but it looks like it could have been a movie adapted from, a Broadway play.
Okay.
Is kind of what I'm thinking it could be, but I may be wrong, so anyone wants to correct me, well, that's too bad, because I'm discrediting myself right now, so. But I hadn't seen all these movies recently. It kind of got me thinking, what was the first movie I saw in the movie theater? And trying to think way back when. I know the first movie I wanted to go to, and I was not allowed to go to it.
Aww.
Which, man, that was before they, added on to the mall in Fairmont.
Uh-huh.
Because you could only go as far south as, I think it was 1896 was at the end of the mall at that point. The 1896 restaurant.
Right.
Until they, expanded and got Woolworths down there and such. But I remember, coming into the door, and my older brother and sister, they got to go to a movie, and it was one of the Godzilla movies. I'm like, I want to go too, and I thought the whole time I was going to end up going, but I think I was only 3 years old. My mom's like, nope, you're coming grocery shopping with me. I'm like,
How unfortunate for Todd.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
first,
didn't
first
get
movie I actually got to see in the theater was Superman with Christopher Reeve.
I didn't get to see that one in the theater.
I only got to see it because we were down visiting my cousins, and my cousins got to go, so I tagged along.
Awesome. That would have been a good one to see.
I enjoyed it, other than the opening part, which was very terrifying at that age.
Yeah, everyone falling into the the middle of the planet, and then the planet exploding. Yeah, that might have something to...
That's how that works.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that one until it was premiered on ABC. Was it Sunday Night Movies, I think it was? Way back when. And, yeah, from then on, I was kind of hooked. So when Superman 2 came out, I was there, man. But, the first movie I actually did see in the theater, though, I want to say it must have been the Muppet movie. Because I don't really remember anything before. And then after that, I started kind of, of course I went to Star Wars. Let's see, Muppet movie came first, didn't it?
I don't recall.
Although I didn't see Star Wars on the first run. I ended up missing out on that. So when they re-released it the next year, that's when I saw it.
I did not get to see Star Wars in the theater. I got to see it when it came out on HBO, and my Aunt Marcia was kind enough to let me watch it then.
Awesome. Although there's nothing like that theater experience with Star Wars.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah. I do remember going to let's see. The first one I went to by myself. Actually. Well, not by myself, me just by myself. I mean, with a friend. Went to Star Trek 2 with
yes.
with John Chu.
I went to that one with Sean Catava.
All right. Yep. And all the talk after that one was regarding the SETI Alpha eels. It's like, cover your ears. But yeah, as far as maybe watching a movie more than once, I don't think I did that until like later on. You know, if we consider like, you know, only in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, just going more than once, it was too much money. Back then.
The only one I know that I went to more than once was Return of the Jedi. Went to that 3 times.
Awesome. Good for you.
Not sure I managed to pull that one off, but I got in there 3 times.
Yeah, most of the time when I saw it, like, second or third times after, it was, you know, HBO or something like that. But I don't think it was until maybe Star Wars Episode 1 that I started seeing stuff more than once. I haven't done it all that much. I did it Episode 1. And it kind of helped that Rochester at the time had a dollar theater.
You know, that part never hurts.
Yeah. Let's see. Episode 2 I saw more than once. Only because the second time was in IMAX. When it was re-released there. When they released Episode 1 in 3D, I went and saw it again there. Which that one, yeah, since it wasn't shot for 3D, you can kind of just tell. So it was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have wasted my money on that.
You know, you never know until you get there for that one. But the flip side is, I think there's still talk that Disney will be doing the other ones in a 3D format at some point. Now, whether that actually happens, you know, I'm not sure, but that's still a discussion.
I thought they had given up on that.
Oh, not yet. There's money to be made.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, so I guess that's our movie talk for the day. And I had to mention this because big news in the world of comics. Because just not too long ago, out of nowhere, Bloom County returns.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you haven't noticed that?
Nope.
Holy crap, dude. You need... Okay. I'm not sure exactly where he's releasing the comics, but it looks like it's maybe initiated on Facebook. So,
okay.
Yeah, check out... let's see. You can go right to Berkeley Breathed, his his Facebook page. I know he's got them posted there, but there's another one out there. I think if you just type in Bloom County, yes, they are. Well, they started being posted there. I think, if you go to just his personal page, he's got that updated more than the Bloom County page.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, if you people haven't checked that out, you got to check it out because, of course, we've got right off the bat the return of Opus. other characters like Milo and Steve Dallas, Bill the Cat. I mean, they're all coming back. So
Interesting.
And he's kind of doing it as in his own time. He's not confined to time restraints. So yeah, you might get a few daily strips during the week, 2-3 of them, and then the last 2 weeks he's had a full color Sunday strip. So he's kind of sticking to the the main comics format, but still kind of going at his own timetable. So yeah, check that out, people. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was say, in new things, I wasn't sure if you were aware of Star Trek Renegades.
Renegades, yes.
Have you heard of this?
I haven't been looking at it too much. I've been looking more at the progress of Axanar.
Well, there was a trailer released very recently, and there's going to be the what do you call it? The premiere episode that they're trying to sell to the studios will be airing at the Star Trek convention in Las Vegas this week. And
awesome.
Considering what they were kind of showing, it looks kind of interesting. If if they can get somebody to got like Netflix doing series and whatnot, if they can get somebody to bite on that, there's again some potential.
Yeah. Because Netflix they've got a name for themselves now, especially after having Daredevil out there. Oh my God, Daredevil is so great.
Well, the other thing I read today is because Netflix now has an association with Marvel, which is now owned by Disney on that side of it there, that the Star Wars may be doing some live action.
That's right, I did see that.
Through them.
Yeah.
So again, some other interesting potential happening.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, it'd be nice if I could make it out that Star Trek convention, but alas, like always. Not gonna happen.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, if someone I knew was going out there too, it'd make it more palatable.
Aha. Yeah, I'm not doing that one yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been nice to go and do that one when the Star Trek experience was still out there.
Yeah, that part I agree with.
That's a shame that closed down.
Yes, it is. But again, it's a matter of not knowing how much business or revenue they're getting out of that thing, and Star Trek kind of waned in popularity for a while there, so it's hard to say what would happen if they kept it going through the reboot series.
Yeah. Which I don't know if you've seen, but you can win a walk-on part in the new Star Trek movie.
That is correct.
Yeah, so something else people might want to check out. I'll try to find a link for that again. I know Matt had emailed it to me, so hoping to see me on Star Trek maybe.
Hey, you never know. And like any of those things, obviously you have some wealthy people throwing some big donations, but it only takes your one chance to win, so.
That's right. So I was going to time this Flamecast and kind of forgot about that. I don't know what time we started.
I'm not sure about that time, maybe.
Well, I know it's under an hour because you had sent me a message on Facebook about 2 o'clock, and I saw it around 2:15, and then it was about 15 minutes later. I think you came up. So we may be going about 30 to 45 minutes, but that's all right. Yeah, speaking of Matt, though, next month, well, actually this month, later this month, in less than 2 weeks. Well, I'll be heading out to Michigan, so Matt and I will be doing a Flamecast together. Like, actually face-to-face. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We haven't done that
exciting.
since Flamecast number 1.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, just got to figure out my schedule there. I think first night we're out there, we'll probably end up recording one. We'll see when we can get it edited and such, and try to put that one out there for the August Flamecast. So, there you go.
Marvelous.
All right. So, I guess that's Flamecast for the month. I'm Todd Blitz.
And this is Travis Buckmeyer.
And that's a wrap.